Welcome to Arts in Focus. I'm Emily Henry. Dick Stoner is a Fort Wayne institution, known for both his magic and his humor. We visited with Dick at Stoner's Fun Store to talk about his storied career. Dick, thank you so much for inviting me here today.
You're welcome.
Let's start by talking about your passion for magic. When did that develop?
When I was in high school, my father did magic as a hobby, and I got interested through that. Then I started adding comedy to magic, and there was a local agency here, Dorothy Durbin Agency, that booked shows, and she booked me on a lot of shows, and I was almost, by the time I graduated from high school, I was almost making a living with magic. And my dad said, if this is what you want to do, why don't we open a magic shop? So he bought a magic shop in Indianapolis, brought it down, and we put it in one of the buildings here.
Now, did you learn all of your original magic tricks from your dad?
No, some of the things, but then we went to some magic conventions, and then we bought magic from distributors, and I started doing more and more. And after about a year and a half after we opened the store, I was drafted and went into the Army, and ended up doing card tricks and magic in the Army. That's all I did in the Army. They took us to Fort Belvoir, Virginia, and I did card tricks on the way up on the bus. For some of the guys who were drafted with me were on the bus too, and they knew I did magic. And got up there and got into our bunks, and after the lights were out, they come in and come walking through, and I had finished doing some card tricks and tossed a deck of cards on the bunk there, and the lieutenant says, "Who's got the cards? Who was gambling?" I said, "I wasn't gambling. I was doing magic." He says, "Do a trick." So I did a couple tricks for him. Then later we got in bed, and then they came to Stoner report to the orderly room. Took me down there, and they had a bunch of officers there, and I had to do card tricks till 2 o'clock in the morning. And then they called me. We got out the next morning. I stayed there till 2, and then about 5 o'clock we got up to go get our uniforms. And we were waiting on a bus to get on there, and they asked me to report to the orderly room again, get your cards. I did some more magic, and they said, "We'd like to have you do shows here. Could you do that?" And I said, "If I had my equipment." And they said, "Okay." And they gave me a 3-day pass and a permit for my car. And I came home. My mother thought I was AWOL. And I went back, and I was there for 30 days, and then they got a directive to send me out for basic training. And in basic training, I broke a leg, and then I ended up in the hospital, and I was doing shows. And then by the time I got out of there, I was too late to send me overseas, so they assigned me to special services, and I did shows for the Army all over.
Wow, so you got to continue working on your craft even throughout your time in the service.
Yeah, we went to Fort Churchill, Canada, and did shows for the troops up there.
What a great story. Is it safe to say that you were a natural-born performer? It was sort of always in you?
I don't know that. I know that I liked it, and when I started adding the comedy, the laughter, I could make people laugh. That was so much fun, and that made me want to do more of it. When I find a trick I like, then I would find ways to make it funny. If it was just a magic trick, I wanted to have some way of making it funny and making people laugh, and so I incorporated the two things, and that just made the thing much more fun to do. And I would spend a lot of time. I've got tons of joke books, and looking for lines, funny lines that I could do, and not so much telling a joke, but just a funny line, and putting those in. And my act over the years started out with some things that in '49 that I'm still doing today, but I've enhanced them with more lines and more funny things and more funny situations, so it makes it even stronger.
Now, you do a lot of teaching. When you're not on the road, you teach magic, and you have instructional DVDs.
Mm-hmm.
Do you like teaching as much as the performing?
Oh yeah, I did quite a few years at IPFW. I did a class with just beginner's magic, with things that they could do with just things around the house, pencil and rubber bands and whatever. And when we sell things in the store to youngsters, I explain how to do them and try to help them with them. And we had found, it's an interesting thing, magic gives youngsters a lot of confidence in front of people, even a shy person. And they've discovered that a shy person, even a real shy person, if they invented something, they have no problem getting up in front of 500,000 people talking about their invention because they know more about that than anyone else. Well, magic puts a youngster in that same position. And Jerry Seinfeld had a line, he said, the number one fear in the world is public speaking, number two is death. Which means that most people would rather be in the coffin at a funeral than delivering the eulogy.
Exactly. Do you find that it's hard to teach magic? I keep thinking, I can't wait for Dick to show me a magic trick, but I hope he doesn't ask me to learn one because I don't think I'd be good at it.
We've got things that 5-year-olds can do.
Okay.
You might have a little trouble, but
Okay. Yeah, teach me one of those, okay? Because anything beyond that, I don't know that I'd be able to handle. What do you think is the hardest part of your job as a magician?
coming up with an idea and then rehearsing it enough and making sure you got the thing put together well before you try to do it for people. I have a new idea, I use it in the store when people come in, I'm demonstrating magic, and I'll do the trick that I want to put in the act, and I get a better feeling for it before I put it in the act.
Do you have a favorite trick? Is that even fair to ask? It's like asking which child is your favorite.
I have a number of favorite tricks. I can show you one if you want to.
I would love to see,
Sure.
yes.
I'll show you one. This is one that actually I marketed. Take a card out and look at it.
Okay.
Remember it. Be sure you know what it is.
Okay.
You can show the camera. Now, you could have picked any of these.
Okay.
Okay?
I'm showing, is this camera good?
Now, you could have picked any of those.
Okay.
You just put the card in the deck any place you would like.
Okay.
I won't even touch the cards.
Okay.
I have these special glasses I picked up in Las Vegas. I can take one look at the deck and tell your card was the 2 of spades, right?
Nope, it was not.
Did you?
Oh my gosh, that's wild!
That's when I'm doing some close-up magic. That's the first thing I do, because sometimes you pull out a deck of cards and people go, "Oh boy, somebody's going to do a boring card trick," you know. And you do that, and everybody's laughing, and so they know it's going to be fun, and you don't.
Dick, that was wild!
Here's a. You talk about teaching. I've taught this. I carry this with me all the time. It's a mini plunger.
Yeah.
You never know when you're going to need one.
That's true.
But a plunger is just a suction cup. It'll pick something up like that.
Uh-huh.
You see. But I have taught this plunger things. See, like I taught this plunger numbers. For instance, if I would say, pick up 4 cards, would pick up 4 cards. Give me a number between 1 and 10.
8.
8. You could have said 6, could have said whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But just watch. 8. Oops. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh, I guess I picked up that last one, but it actually picked up 8. Take a card out and look at it. Remember the card.
Okay.
Place it back. That's fine, just right there's fine.
On top,
I'll
okay.
cut it into the deck.
Okay.
Now, I'll let you whisper the name of the card into the plunger.
Okay.
I've also taught the plunger
I don't whisper
cards.
well.
And he memorizes the order of the cards.
Okay.
And since you told him the card,
Yeah.
whoop,
That is nuts. I'm a sucker for magic. This is.
well, here's one I've had. You were down about teaching people things. This is a rather new trick, but we've had. I'll do a trick with that box in a minute, but first I'm going to let you take a card out and look at it.
Okay.
Now, you could have picked any of these. I'm going to turn my back, and I want you to write your name on the face of that card.
Okay.
Then you can show it to the camera if you want, and then turn the card down.
Okay.
Tell me when you've done that.
Okay. Okay.
Okay. Now, we'll put the card back and mix the cards up. Even if I mix the cards, it would be easy for me to find your card by just looking through for the one you wrote your name on. But I don't do this by sight. I do this by touch. I can feel each card and tell. In fact, so that I can't possibly cheat or anything, I'll do it behind my back. No, that's not it. No, that's not it. I'll get it. No, 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 Oh, that might be it. See if that isn't it.
That's not it.
That's not it. That's why I have this box here. Take the lid off. You can keep that for a souvenir.
That's my card! Can I just stay all day? Dick, that is awesome!
Thank you.
I have to go back to asking questions now,
Okay.
but I just want to play. Oh my gosh. Okay, I want to know if you are constantly working on new tricks or changing up old ones, or are you pretty set with your show?
The act is pretty much a basic act. If I haven't worked a group before, I mean, it's pretty much the basic act. Every once in a while, I stumble on something new that I can add into that same effect.
Do you consider what you do an art?
Certainly. In fact, I think they just declared magic an art in the U.S., or they're about to, or something. Canada, Doug Henning was from Canada, and he got them to grant him a grant for being an art, magic being an art, and they've never really recognized that in the United States. But I think I was just reading in one of the magic magazines that's happening.
They certainly should. I mean, if that's not an art, I don't know what is. I'm fascinated by you.
Well, thank you.
Okay, finally. I think I know the answer, but I want you to answer it anyway. Is this your dream job?
Yeah, it's not like a job. It's fun. I think anybody, I say to youngsters sometimes, anything that you do in school, if you find something you really love to do, that's what you should pursue, because if you love what you're doing, you'll be successful at it. And I think that's the importance, to find something you really love to do. That's what you should do.
Well, this interview has certainly been a joy, so if that's any indication of the joy that you have every day, then I can only imagine you've had a great career. So thank you for having me. Thank you for showing me some tricks. It has been a pleasure. Thanks so much.
You're welcome. Thank you.
For more information, visit dickstoner.com.